This episode includes negative depictions and simplified stereotypes of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than ignoring parts of the park's history, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact and learn from it and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together.
Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, Greg Gorley, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, and Ben and Noel Bruning, B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel Nablock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has the Matterhorn, with the Skyway gondolas heading to and from Tomorrowland. Below is the Monorail Yellow, with guests walking under. To the right, you can see the beginning of the entrance to the submarines. On the back it reads, Matterhorn Mountain. Skyway buckets wing high above Tomorrowland on a journey through Matterhorn Mountain to Fantasyland. Sleek monorail trains offer still another type of sky cruise, a swift, silent journey over the winding highway in the sky. It's postmarked August 6, 1976, with a Long Beach cancel and a 13-cent Liberty Bell proclaim liberty throughout all the land postage stamp, Scott number 1595. I assume they visited the park on Thursday, August 5, 1976, when park hours were from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. The weather was a high of 82 and a low of 60. It's addressed to Miss Kristen S. of Stockton, California. It reads, Chris, hey there, I don't even know if you're home to receive this. But if you are, I wouldn't know because I seem to have been forgotten this summer, or at least neglected. But it's okay. My heart wasn't broken too badly. I just might throw myself off of the Matterhorn. That's all, Carol. This episode we will continue with the mailbox tour of the park with a mailbox I recently learned about looking at a 1987 official Disneyland guide. I tried to find the location or where the mailbox was exactly during my most recent trip to the park, but didn't find anything. Let's head to the walkway between Tomorrowland and the Matterhorn. For a time, Tomorrowland had 3 mailboxes. This particular one was likely added sometime after the refurbishment of Tomorrowland in 1966. This was when the Yacht Bar or Yacht Club, a refreshment stand that opened in 1955, was removed and replaced with the Tomorrowland Terrace, which is now known as Galactic Grill. This change moved the counter-service restaurant to face farther east. The mailbox would have been anywhere between the telephone booths near where the exit of Pixie Hollow and the face painting is today to one of the last monorail pylons before reaching the Tomorrowland monorail station. Most likely, it was on the back of the Circle Vision show building. This is one mailbox I cannot find a photo of, as the location was not as picturesque as the other side of the building with the Mary Blair murals, or as entertaining as the bands playing on the Tomorrowland Terrace stage. We can assume the mailbox was there in 1987, but must have been removed before the 1998 Tomorrowland refurbishment. It was in an interesting location, under where the Monorail, the PeopleMover, and the Skyways would have all passed over it on the way to their next destination. Now we can walk to Frontierland for the last lost mailbox. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to EnfieldPost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and EnfieldPost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has the entrance to Frontierland. You can see guests walking over the bridge, and in the background you can see 2 masts of the Columbia. On the back it reads, Frontierland Entrance. The saga of the West is relived in Frontierland as guests enter a fort, which is a replica of one which linked the American frontiers together. It's postmarked June 22, 1965, with the Anaheim cancel and a 4-cent Lincoln postage stamp, Scott number 1036. I assume they visited the park on Monday, June 21, 1965, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to midnight. The weather was a high of 72 and a low of 59. Park attendance that day was 35,848. It's addressed to Mr. and Mrs. R. Parker of Westlake, Ohio. It reads, Dear Dee Dee, well, we made it. I hope you too have a grand time. This is an experience I would love to repeat. I think the boys would stay forever if they could. Jay and Carolyn Brethen. Once you pass the fort-like gates of Frontierland, you can head to the right into the wooden Indian standing in front of the Westward Ho Trading Company. This mailbox, while not directly photographed, often is in many tourist photos, as the wooden sculpture in front of it was a very popular photo spot. Looking at Frontierland photos from 1955, the mailbox was likely added to the post outside the Frontierland Trading Post, the original name of the shop we now call Westward Ho, in the fall or winter of 1955. At the time, the mailbox would have been near the William Bounds Blacksmith and U.S. Marshal, an exhibit named after Walt's father-in-law, and miniature horse corral. Sometime in the late 1950s, the Native American chief wood statue was added in front of the post the mailbox was attached to. There's a similar statue on Main Street. These are also known as cigar store Indians, and were used in Europe as early as the 17th century as an emblem to let passers-by know that they could purchase tobacco products from that store. The miniature horse corral did not last too long, and the mailbox would have been near the first version of the Frontierland Shooting Gallery, which was added in July of 1957. The mailbox was eventually removed or possibly relocated to another location of Frontierland. Looking at photos, we can assume it left its original location in the 1970s. It is great to see this mailbox peeking out in snapshots of guests taking photos in front of the old trading post. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming postcard has 2 red doors with 2 blue planters filled with cacti. It's postmarked April 13th, 2026, with a San Bernardino cancel and a 42-cent Frank Sinatra postage stamp and a 37-cent 1953 Studebaker Starliner postage stamp, Scott numbers 4265 and 3931 respectively. It reads, The best is yet to come, and won't that be fine, Sinatra. Thank you so much for the postcard, Mojave Correspondence Club. It was funny that we were both in the parks on Wednesday. I was able to grab a few of the new Skyway straw clips and send a handful of post-crossing postcards, as well as some fun Magic Mail postcards. One I sent was to the Broken Compass Tiki Bar, a place I visited the week before, and thought it would be fun to drop a line. I hope you had an opportunity to send some mail while you were cruising through the parks. Thanks for tagging me in the Sent from Disneyland room of It's a Small World. It's always nice to be thought of while friends are visiting the park. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at sentfromdisneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.